The BBC has discovered evidence that a major Tory party donor was a director of a company secretly owned by a Russian oligarch close to President Putin. Lubov Chernukhin says she does not recall consenting in writing to being a director of the firm. The oligarch, Suleiman Kerimov, who's since been sanctioned by the EU and the UK, has previously denied any connection with Mrs Chernukhin. Our economics correspondent Andy Verity reports.
Lubov Chernukhin has donated large sums to the Conservatives to play tennis with David Cameron and Boris Johnson, and £135,000 for a night out with Theresa May and members of the cabinet. She's reportedly on a secret advisory board of ultra-wealthy Tory donors with access to party leaders. Her husband, Vladimir Chernukhin, is a businessman and former deputy finance minister who fled Russia after being dismissed by President Putin in 2004. 2 years ago, we revealed how he had been secretly funded with $8 million by a Russian oligarch from Putin's inner circle. That oligarch, now subject to UK, US and EU sanctions, is Suleiman Kerimov. He denied having any dealings with Mrs Chernukhin whatsoever. Now, in a leak of documents to the BBC and the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, new information has come to light which raises questions about that. It's to do with the purchase of a property in North London, now under new ownership, bought back in 2005. We've seen leaked documents showing how secretive offshore companies hid the people involved in the purchase of this house back then. They appear to show that Mrs Chernukhin, as she now is, became a director of a company called Radlett Estates Limited. And we've seen another leaked document which shows that the hidden owner of that company was the Russian oligarch Suleiman Kerimov. Mrs Chernukhin became a director after the property was bought. One leaked document is signed Lubov Golubeva, her name before she married Vladimir in 2007. Lubov Chernukhin first said through her lawyers, "Mrs Chernukhin has never been a director of Radlett." Then, when we said we'd seen the document, she said she does not recall consenting in writing to being a director and suggested it may be a forgery. Is forgery a possibility? We asked an anti-money laundering expert.
Well, it might be conceivable, but I think in this particular case we have documents that show that she was present at a meeting where her continued directorship was being discussed, and indeed at that meeting she resigned as a director. So I think it stretches the imagination to suggest that her identity was stolen.
Campaigners say it underlines why the system of political donations has to be much more transparent.
Any politician or political party should, well, they ought to have a clear understanding of the nature of their benefactors. So that means conducting due diligence over those who sponsor their activities, not just looking at whether the funds they receive are lawful, but ensuring, that actually they're exercising good judgment in receiving them in the first place.
Mr Kerimov didn't respond to questions about the property and his relationship with the Chernukhins. The Conservative Party said all donations are properly and transparently declared to the Electoral Commission and comply fully with the law. Andy Verity, BBC News.